Hi, I'm Rob, and in this Gems of War video, I'm going to show you my first Succubus Queen team. Pretty cool troop this. I don't think it's as bad as a lot of people are probably going to tell you it is, because the thing is with Mythic troops is there's different Mythic troops for different jobs. A Mythic troop which does heavy damage like a attack shaka is best controlled by the human in a strong attack team. Troops like this, who do steal life, are going to be more effective in teams controlled by the AI if you set it up in the right way. A team that steals life can just make things harder for the opposition in guild wars. It can make for a slower game, costing the enemy team points and things like that. And it's actually pretty decent. Not all teams, not all mythics are about obliterating the enemy and killing them off in like 3 turns and stuff like that. Some people don't mind a slightly slower, more tactical game. Those, Tak Shaka, fantastic troop. That 3 times Tak Shaka, Wonder Stars team, absolutely awesome. Just going to obliterate opponents really, really quickly, but no strategy, no thought to it at all. Some people don't actually enjoy that. It's kind of a bit brain dead, even though it's mega effective. It's got nothing against it. I'm going to use it in guild wars if it stays the same. And but I don't mind troops like this either. The spell Dark Embrace, charm an enemy and steal magic-based life from them, and then summon 1 to 3 Succubus or Incubi. The traits: Arcane, gain 1 magic when an ally casts a spell. That's going to be an extra 2 magic steal every time a spell is cast. Spell Armor, reduce damage from spells by 25%. And Lady of Desire, steal 2 life from the first enemy when matching red gems. So the team I'm going to make, I'm going to concentrate on that life steal and the fact we have that summon, and try and make the most of it. Now, the Lady of Desire bit, I'm going to ignore that. That's not enough to actually worry about. It's just steal 2 life from the first enemy when matching red. I'm not going to actually worry about that. But I am going to concentrate on the life steal and, to a certain extent, the charm. Right now, as I highlighted just a second ago, the important part of a mythic is not just that they're a mighty damage dealer. There are other ways to go about using mythics as well, and they're depending upon the game mode, whether it's a mythic or in a team you control yourself or in a defense, that changes how good a mythic is. And then I think in a team like I'm about to show, this is actually a pretty good mythic for a defense team as well. In a team like Thrall the Empress, Life and Death, and Succubus Queen, this can be a real pain as a defense team, because the key to a defense team is not just to actually make a defense team which is effective. It's actually good to make a defense team which the AI can't mess up on. It's very easy for the AI to go about using a defense team the wrong way. So the more foolproof you can make a defense team, the more effective it's going to be. Now, this is pretty much as foolproof as things can get regarding a defense team. With Thrall the Empress and Life and Death and Succubus Queen, it really doesn't matter what order the AI casts things in, because it's going to be effective one way or the other. Now, if you're fighting a team like this, you decide normally which troop you want to get rid of first. Okay, you say Thrall is dangerous because if that casts, it's going to destroy all those gems charging up the team. And if it charges up any of these, you don't want that to cast because it's going to boost up their Succubus Queen. So Thrall is important to get rid of because it's also going to charge up Life and Death, which is a pain. If you don't get rid of Thrall, it can get charged up really easy and give the team all them benefits. So you kind of need to get rid of Thrall. But by getting rid of Thrall first, the chances are the Empress is going to get a chance to cast. And if it does that, then the Succubus Queen is going to be scaled in damage, and that's going to be very, very dangerous. So maybe we should get rid of the Empress first instead. If you do that, you're leaving behind Thrall, who almost definitely will get the cast, and therefore charging up Life and Death and Succubus Queen. Life and Death, quite often a good idea. As a player, you often look at the team hero, the enemy weapon, and see if that's worth getting rid of first. And Life and Death is often a target to get rid of quickly because it steals life from the last 2 enemies, death marks them, which can be lethal, blesses itself, making a real pain. So quite often players will target this first, try and get rid of that. If they do that, then they're leaving behind Thrall to cast and give all that mana to the Empress, Succubus Queen, and itself. And then the Empress casts, making that lethal. So it's like, okay, let's get rid of the Succubus Queen then, because that charms an enemy, steals a life, and has a summon. If we kill these troops and that gets to cast, it's just going to summon in to these empty slots. So we get rid of Succubus Queen first. But then you leave Life and Death as the last opponent. And the Empress gives all them skills to the last ally. So basically, Life and Death gets all the benefits that would ordinarily go onto the Succubus Queen. And even if the AI decides to cast Thrall when technically it shouldn't do, it's still going to charge up the team really quick. If it casts this when technically you would have rather cast Succubus Queen as a human, it's just going to make her more and more tanky. If it casts Life and Death, it blesses itself, does that damage, death marks. So the AI can't really make a mistake in a team like this, and it's going to be very straightforward to use. As a human player, you're going to be looking to get purple straight away. Destroy gems on a vast basis. The more magic you've got in the game, the more you've done in the game, the more benefit you're going to get out of that. So less effective as a newer player, more effective as a more experienced player, but it's still going to work well because these two only need 6 mana each. And the Empress will give magic +1 to all skills on the last ally with a 7% chance of an extra turn for each green gem on the board. So that's going to boost up the Succubus Queen like as much as you want. You can even cast the Empress 2 or 3 times if you needed to. Very cool indeed. And Life and Death does really cool life and death things, stealing life from the last 2 enemies, death marking, blessing, enchanting itself, absolute pain. And for a lot of players, just a single cast of the Empress will put the Succubus Queen in one-shot range of even Explore 12 opponents. And you can just cast Thrall again, charge her up, and repeat the process. Because once the Empress and Life or Death are ready, you kind of can forget about them a bit, as a lot of players will be able to just do that and cast Thrall. Then all that green, red, and yellow will go straight into Succubus Queen. All the purple goes back into Thrall. No mana blocking on those two, and you can just repeat the process. Very straightforward. Banner for this, I'm going for +2 purple, +1 brown, -1 blue. Really important to have that +2 purple because we want to get our Thrall charged absolutely immediately. And he gains bonus purple mana from purple gem matches. So even a single match of purple without a mana surge means Thrall is ready to cast. Going to go in Geomancer for this. Just to give our Empress a little head start, all constructs start with 50% mana. Reduce damage from skulls by 50%. Talent trees. Probably that one's actually better. Don't want to be in last position. Anti-magic sphere is good. Tactician obviously good. Rock solid, very useful. Tree of knowledge. And fortitude, all good. Right, let's jump into Explore 12 then, show a couple of battles. Going to go 3 times no shot on this, but I am going to go about this in a slightly different way. I'm going to do the first couple of battles as if controlled by a human, so how you would go about using this team as a human player. And also going to show why it's pretty effective, I think, as a AI controlled team, because the thing is with AI controlled teams is it's not just about having a good defense, it's about making the defense kind of foolproof for the AI to use. It's all well and good having a good defense when as a human you know exactly what you're meant to do with that defense regarding what troops you should cast first and things like that, but the AI doesn't know that. With the AI you need a foolproof defense, which basically means it can't mess up. So let's just show this a few times as a human, and I do think I'm human. But our Succubus Queen is currently dealing 107 life damage, that life steal. So we're going to do that damage to the enemy and add it to our own, which is decent on its own, but we can do better than that, as well as instantly kill some of these troops. So right now they've got more life than I steal, so we can cast the Empress first, get that nice boost. Now, oops, I think it's 217. I didn't mean to double press that. That was strange. But basically we are going to instantly kill anybody we like. She is pretty dangerous. We can take her out. And we're going to steal that life at the same time. So we've gone up to 317 life now, as well as instantly kill anybody that we wanted. And the amount of damage we're doing as well is above and beyond what we need. So even if you're a lower level than me, there's a chance that this will work with a single Empress cast. But if you need more boost, then cast Empress a second time. And it also means that because I'm going above and beyond what we need, if there's some spell damage reduction on the other team, it may still result in them dying. And all you're going to do is cast our Thrall again. And you may have to cast it twice on the first issue, because, or the first chance, because Empress does take away the green, which ordinarily feeds straight into our Succubus Queen. But as soon as you've got that going, it's just going to be annihilation for the team. It's just cast Thrall as a high level player, or if you create enough, destroy enough gems, you can just instantly kill. Charge Thrall again, who will normally be charged straight away, and repeat the process for just instant quick kills. So let's go through that again now in normal speed without explaining any stuff. Yeah, I'll have some glory keys, I suppose. Go on. Talked me into it. So we're looking for purple. Let's go with Thrall. Cast our Empress next. Didn't get extra turn, but we've already got enough damage to kill someone, so let's get rid of them while doing some of that charm damage at the same time. Don't worry about casting Life and Death. We're ready to go again, look. Let's get rid of her. Destroy gems with Thrall. Ready to go again. And let's even give Life and Death a bit of action. Why not? And that was it. Straightforward as that. Very, very nice indeed. So let's go over why someone like the Succubus Queen and... no. And indeed, this team is actually pretty good to be controlled by the AI. Now, as a player, you often look at the enemy and you need to decide who you want to get rid of first. So, obviously, this is going to be the team we'd ordinarily be fighting against. So, we look at the team, we say, okay, Thrall is very dangerous. Can do with getting rid of him, because if we leave him behind and he destroys those gems and he only needs 6 mana to get going, then he can charge up any of these troops really, really quickly. And if the Empress gets charged, that is going to boost that bottom troop, as we just saw. If we leave Life and Death to get charged, then that can be an absolute pain, because it does that steal life and death mark. And if we let her get charged, then obviously that can be terrifying at the same time. Therefore, Thrall needs to go first. But if we get rid of Thrall first, rather, then basically we're leaving Empress to get charged. And if that happens, that makes her really dangerous. And we're also leaving behind, obviously, Life and Death and the Succubus Queen. So, okay, Empress cannot be allowed to cast, because as soon as she casts, this gets really dangerous. And basically, the Empress needs to go first. But if we do that, we're leaving behind Thrall, who can charge up Life and Death and the Succubus Queen, who both deal and steal effectively with true damage, which makes them both an absolute pain. So, okay, we'll let her do that. We'll get rid of Life and Death, because the weapon, the hero, is often the worst troop in the game, or the most damaging. So we get rid of the Life and Death. But if we do that, we're leaving behind Thrall to basically charge up the Empress and the Succubus Queen. And at the same time, the Empress is going to give our Succubus Queen loads of life. So we can't get rid of them either. We need to get rid of the Succubus Queen, because basically she charms an enemy. She does that life steal. She has summons, because even if we kill these troops and she gets to cast, she's going to fill them up with summons. So she needs to go first. But the trouble is then, basically Thrall is there, which gets charged up really easy, which will charge up the Empress really easy, which will then put all that benefit to Life and Death instead, which is going to make that absolutely lethal. So it's like, oh, it's a pain. It is a pain for the opposition. And it can't really go wrong, because no matter what the AI decides to cast, it doesn't matter. Any of these things is going to help the team in one way or the other. If it keeps on casting this, it's going to just make our Succubus Queen just lethal. If it keeps on casting Life and Death, so what? It keeps on stealing life, getting more powerful and death marking people. If it casts Thrall, it's going to keep on charging up our team. If it casts this, she gets more tanky. Can't really make a mistake. But anyway, as I was saying, let's run this battle like the AI. Now, the AI basically normally takes skull hits when they're there, so we'll do that. I'll wait for the recommendation of what the AI says. It'll probably say purple. And let's charge up our Thrall. Now, when multiple troops are ready to cast, it'll either normally cast the top troop or cast the weapon. So if a skull hit's there, it will normally take a skull hit, so we'll do that. It always takes a 4 match when it's available. Just make sure there's no other 4 matches, so we're doing this correctly. Normally it'll cast either one of these, but whoever it casts, it doesn't matter. If it casts Thrall, it's going to charge up our Succubus Queen guaranteed. If it casts Empress, it's going to give extra stats to her. If it casts Life and Death, which it may well do, then we've death marked and done damage to them last 2 troops. It may well cast Life and Death next. I mean, Thrall next, rather. When there's a Mythic troop cast, or ready to cast, it will typically cast them next. It'll always take 4 matches first. and then cast typically the Mythic. I'm just cast this on anybody. I'm not looking. I'm just looking around my room, going up and down on the thing. No idea how I cast that on. It will typically cast the weapon because it's the hero. It'll either cast one or two of these. Normally it does cast the top troop, so let's just do that. And it will normally cast the hero. As I said, I'm just doing that anywhere. No idea how I did that on. And life and death would finish. And yeah, but if it kept on casting Empress, we're going to get massive stats to our bottom troop and make it almost impossible to kill unless you've got a Zul'Goth or a Sitharask in your team, something like that. Obviously a team like this, it can be defeated with a 3 times Takshaka Wand of Stars type team pretty quickly, but you wouldn't put this team up against a Takshaka team that uses them colours. You'd put it on Guild Wars on a, I don't know, a brown day or something where you can't use that awesome 3 times Takshaka team or whatever. So yeah, I think a pretty annoying team to fight against, whether human controlled, and the AI can't really make a mess of it either, to be fair. This is going to be an extra turn. Let's get rid of them who thought they were about to cast. Let's go with Thrall. Let's get rid of someone else, them. He's annoying. Thrall again. So yeah, you can see how quick, how good this is. Very nice indeed. And if we lose a troop like that, I'm kind of glad that happened. You're going to get guaranteed summon. Bang. Full roster of troops still. Well, there it is. There's my suck on this Succubus Queen team. Don't forget to use that silver banner. Really important to get that +2 purple to get Thrall going as quickly as possible. But yeah, this team will probably be defeated by certain Stellarex teams that can use all colours, things like that. But I do think that in Guild Wars, which is where a team like this, like I was explaining in a video, for the AI to use could be a pretty cool shout, but only against those non-Stellarex, non-triple Takshaka teams, things like that. There'd be colours when you'll be able to do that on at certain times. But I think Guild Wars are going to change anyway, because I think otherwise we're just going to see the Stellarex teams after Stellarex teams. So it may change to something like the PvP format, where we're forced to use certain troops from certain kingdoms or a certain type of troop, things like that, just to mix it up and stop people just using non-stop Stellarex teams, which is how it is in PvP a lot of the time right now. So there it is. There's the team. There's the video. If you enjoyed it, be sure to bash that like and subscribe button. It really does help. But most of all, thanks for watching. And I'll catch you again next time. Bye for now.